to start with solenoid as a bar magnet. As we know already that generally the magnetic loops, current carrying loops are equivalent to a magnetic dipole, that we have already seen, north south two pole. So current carrying loops are generally equivalent to a magnetic loop. But now we are talking about solenoid. Now solenoid generally must be very much equal to the bar magnet, and how we are going to prove that. So for that we are going to take a solenoid. So this is a solenoid, and this solenoid, suppose the length of the solenoid is 2L. So this is the center point of the solenoid. Suppose this is O, and this length is L, and this length is also L. The radius of this solenoid is A, right? So for this particular solenoid, to prove it, it acts like a bar magnet. First we are going to see what is the magnetic field at a point, certain point on its axial line. What would be the magnetic field B for this particular solenoid, and then we are going to compare it with a bar magnet's magnetic field on its axis. That's we already know. So suppose if I have to find the magnetic field B on its axis, first let us see what is the axis. This is the axis of this solenoid, and on this axis, suppose I have this particular point P, and this point is at a distance R from its center. So from its center at a distance R, we are selecting a particular point P, and then we have to calculate what would be the magnetic field B on this particular point. So for that, to calculate that, first we will imagine a particular section, a very particular small section dx on this solenoid. This section acts like a small current carrying loop. So suppose this particular section is at distance x from the center, right? So we have to find first what would be the magnetic field due to this particular small section, and then we will find it for the whole solenoid. So let's suppose this solenoid is carrying a current I, and it has the number of turn per unit length is N. So N is the turn per unit length. Now the turn for this particular small section dx, if for unit length the turn is N, then for the small section dx, the number of turn will be N into dx, right? And for the whole length 2L, the total number of turns will be N into 2L, right? So since this is for N is for the unit length, therefore whichever length we will just multiply and get what will be the number of turns. So for this section, let's suppose there is a small magnetic field B, dB for this small section dx, and this dx, let's suppose what will be the distance from dx to P. So this is the distance from dx to P, and we have to find what is the distance from dx to P. This is not this distance. For a particular section dx, this would be the distance, right? So this distance, I will just draw it once again. This is the distance. So this distance, if you see, this would be R minus x. R is the distance from the center, and the distance from the center of this particular is x. So R minus x is the distance from this section to point P. This is nothing but the radius, which is a. Therefore, this will be r minus x whole square plus a square to the power half. Right? So, this is the distance. So, now we calculate the magnetic field dB due to the small section dx. As we already know, the magnetic field generally for a small circular loop is given as mu naught by 4 pi 2 pi n I by whatever the distance r cube into a square. So, this is the magnetic field B. So, when we substitute it will become mu naught by 4 pi. This result we are borrowing, this result we have used, we have derived already. So, we are borrowing this. So, here mu naught by 4 pi, this 2 pi. Now, n for dx is nothing but n dx. So, we will write here as n dx. The current is same. This is the current I flowing. The radius is a square here. And this r cube is the distance from the center, which is nothing but this particular distance, r minus x whole square plus a square to the power half of cube of that. So, this will become 3 by 2. Right? So, this is the magnetic field dB due to this small section dx. Now, when we have to take this thing for the whole solenoid, we have to imagine there are many small section, and this section varies from this side to this side, right? So, if I have to calculate the whole thing, now we will imagine this is the center O, and this particular end point is at minus L, and this end point is plus L for the solenoid. Now, if I have to find the magnetic field for the whole solenoid at the point P, then the total magnetic field B can be calculated adding up or integrating this small section dB, integrating from minus L to plus L, right? So, we have taken a small section and we have seen what is this small magnetic field for this small section. Now, this small section we are integrating from minus L to plus L to check what is the total magnetic field B for this solenoid at a point P. So, when we do this, we will just substitute. This becomes mu naught by 4 pi 2 pi n I a square by r minus x whole square plus a square whole 3 by 2 into dx and integration minus L to plus L, right? Now, we will take little approximation because this part is very clumsy and very complicated. Now, as if you see little just by your imagination and observation, generally what happens, what we see, this point P, the distance of this point P, that is R, is generally very large compared to x as well compared to the radius of the solenoid. So, we can write that R is much greater than x. Therefore, R minus x is similar to R. So, when you have R is much greater than x, R minus x, so this term will become almost equal to R. So, therefore, R minus x square becomes R square. Now, you are left with R square plus A square, right? So, again the second approximation we are taking, R is much greater than A. So, when you take this approximation, this also becomes almost equal to R square, right? And therefore, the whole expression, that R square to the power 3 by 2 reduces to r cube, right? So we'll just substitute here after using these two approximation. Then this will become b equal to mu naught by 4 pi. This becomes r cubed 2 pi ni a square integration of dx minus L to plus L. So this is the integration that we see. Now if you do integration mathematically, integration of dx becomes x, and when you substitute the limit minus L to plus L, it will become L minus L, which is L plus L, which is 2L. So this whole expression becomes 2L. So my term will be mu naught by 4 pi r cube 2 pi ni a square into 2L, right? So we just again write it in this way: 2 mu naught by 4 pi 2 into 2 pi ni L a square by r cube, right? Now this is the magnetic field B due to the solenoid on its axis, on a point on its axis which is at a distance r. Now if you just see it from the magnetic moment point of view, then you see that if you think they are the current carrying loop, then their magnetic field M will be Ni into A, right? This Ni into A, here the N for the whole solenoid becomes N into 2L. So I can write it as 2L into N into I. A is pi into A square. That is the area of the solenoid, which is pi A square, right? So 2L Ni pi A square. This whole thing is nothing but the magnetic moment of the solenoid. And we see the same expression here. So magnetic field, we can write it as mu naught by 4 pi 2 into magnetic moment M by r cube. So this is the magnetic field B for the solenoid in terms of magnetic moment. And very surprisingly, we see this is the same expression that we find for a magnet or dipole magnet or a bar magnet, if this is NS or something. So for this at a distance, at a point P which is in axial distance, and this is at a distance r from its center. For this also, the magnetic field at P is the same, that is mu naught by 4 pi 2 into its magnetic moment divided by r cube. So what we see, that the magnetic field produced on its axial line at a certain distance on a point due to a solenoid or due to a bar magnet is same. It's not similar, it's totally same. Therefore, we can say that the solenoid is nothing but a bar magnet, or solenoid acts as a bar magnet.
If you like the video, then press the like button, subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon.